Hello, welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Today you're going to see how to plan a modern U-shaped kitchen, part one. Yeah, I just drag and drop over our webinar plan. You see today we have our modern U-shaped kitchen with an island, part one. So like you see in the preview, we don't have today the kitchen island and the counters here. Yeah, that will be part of the second one, which is next week. And yeah, today we're gonna start with a U shape, yeah, or with an L shape. Let's see how far we go. And yeah, we plan this kitchen step by step. And therefore, we click here on the eye and we deactivate the room. And yeah, we activate the smart links and the dimensions. And yeah, one thing before we start, you see here, I turned everything off. So when we go here to the wireframe, yeah, you see we don't have any drilling pattern in here. When we turn it on, they are appearing, and you can turn it on and off. But when it's turned off, your computer doesn't need so much resources, and yeah, the calculation can go a bit faster because everything will be calculated after we have done the step. So just for letting you know, yeah, that might be a bit faster, especially in projects like this, where we have lots of cabinet and drilling patterns and so on. So, okay, we go on the eye and we go back to the rendered view. So, and let's start a new project. So we click here on File. Yeah, and also I repeat it again. Before we start anything, we save the project, and we don't want to save a single cabinet. You see we have here 13 single cabinets, but we want to save the whole project, which includes all cabinets and not a single one, which is here, in this case, here the red one, the this cabinet between the oven. That is here cabinet 8, it's a shelf. Yeah, we will also give it any cabinet, every cabinet a specific name. Okay, when you have any questions, you are welcome to use the chat, and I will keep an eye on it and yeah, answer also your questions. So now we click on File and we say here Save Project, and we save it also in a different folder, not in the TrunCAD folder. Yeah, we also recommend to don't save it in the TrunCAD folder because it is also getting loaded in a RAM memory. So we have here the project folder, and we call it here webinar modern U-shape kitchen with island. So we save the whole project, and then we start a new project. So First of all, I see here I have activated still the render view where we saw the edge bandings. We don't want to use it for now. We use a normal view, and I see I have saved the room as a default. Yeah, we can also delete it, and I show you how to set up the window, and also here's a cutout, the wall cutout. So, okay, yeah. First of all, we define the room. Yeah, it's already here defined by clicking on a dimension, then the window is opening. Here we have the room width is 500, 5,800. That is okay. The room height as well. We don't have a sloping roof in here. And we go here on the drop-down menu for the window, and we say the width of the window is 2,100 millimeter, height is 1,000, distance left is 700, distance to bottom should be 1,000, and then we just drag it and drop it in here. And for the cutout, we also define a cutout. The width should be 300, the depth 300, and height is 2,300, like the height of the room. And the distance to the left is here, the 4,000 minus 300 is 3,700. And we don't need a cover up or calculate a cutout. So we keep the checkbox deactivated, and we just drag it and drop it on the right wall. Yeah. So like you see, the textures, the material textures, you can change if you want. Yeah, you can use here, if you type in here in the filter wall, yeah, you can use different textures, and you can do this for the bottom as well. The same for the frame for the window. And when we go back to the room tab, we can here also, if you want, deactivate the ceiling. And that's how we create our room. So like you see here, the bottom is covering up some. That's why we go to the view where we see the dimensions of the room and the cabinet. And yeah, after we have set up the room, we start with a project. And here you see in this view, you see also that is a window, yeah, and here's a wall cut out. Yeah, you see it also in 2D, like here's the walls. All right, now we start with our first cabinet, and I will also keep an eye on my second screen, because there I see the measurements and so on, and the dimension and the position. So I just pairing it, and then we start with our first cabinet. Yeah, the height is 940, and width is 1,200, and here the depth is not 550. In our case, it's 600. So we click here on a dimension. The window is opening, type in 600 and confirming it. Yeah. You see also we have already prepared our default cabinet. Yeah, we have done it last week in our webinar. You see here we have saved the standard. And if you want to uh, know how to do it, I recommend to click here on the Help tab and go here to Free Tutorials. And then I drag and drop over here. You see our online academy. When you click here on Starter, Webinars, you see here it's our webinar from last week, creating your default cabinet, how to setting up your standard. Yeah, you can watch it here, and also our first part will also be uploaded here. All right, now we can start, and we have here a corner cabinet, and therefore we have two options. We can build the corner cabinet from one, and therefore we would click here on the smart click on the corner, and here you see corner cabinet diagonal, and here corner cabinet L form, like here. Yeah, we can use it like this. Here we can change also the left links, and here also the width. In our case, we don't want to build it from one cabinet like here. We build it for two, and for the other edge, we will build a diagonal. Yeah, when we click on here, diagonal, it's also possible. Yeah, but here in this case, we use two straight cabinets, and here we will prepare it later on. I just click here on the front tab, and we will add here a trim on it. We will modify this trim later on, and we continue now with a second cabinet, and the second cabinet will be here on the left side, and just check it. We go here on the cabinet tab, and the width is 2400 millimeter. The height is 940 and the depth is 600. And the distance to the left, we say 1000. We might change it later on. The reasons I will explain to you. We just drag it and drop it on here. Yeah, and what you see here, it has already a collision. Yeah. Here, please mind that we have in our case a 19 millimeter material set. Yeah, for you, you have also 18 ones, but in this case, it doesn't matter. Yeah, because it doesn't have the effect of the dimensions. So here we also work with a bit tolerance. So we click on here and we change the distance to left, not to 1000. We can work here with the equal sign, equals 1000 minus 20. It can also minus 18 um, or minus 19. We use here minus 20, and we have here a 1 millimeter gap, which is all right. That is within our tolerance. and we go here to the cabinet tab and we activate here the cover panel. And here we have also an overlap of the cover panel of 21 millimeter. You can also change it. Yeah, it will automatically be adapting. In our case, we have here 21 millimeter. And I want to show you something. That's why I will deactivate it again. And we go to the division tab and we want to add here 3 verticals and we just drag it and drop it in here. And our default is here with single verticals, and the bottom and top panel is passing, but we want to have the vertical passing through top and bottom. And that's why I deactivated the cover panel, because I want to show you that the parameter just swapped. And here we say we want to have a double one. And you see we have now 4 single cabinets which are connected with a trim. And every single cabinet has here also the plinth legs here. So you can choose here the hardware of the plinth legs. And for us, it's okay. That's from Hefele. The plinth legs for the kitchen, like we have done it last week. All right. So now we can activate the cover panel. And also the cover panel, you see, when we use here different material, yeah, I just drag and drop here a 90 material, and you will see that the height of this area, it's now 782. When we use a 90 millimeter material set, will go up. That's now 803. And when we use here 40 millimeter again, will go down. All right. So now we continue, and we want to have here draws, and therefore we are done with the division, and we go now to the front tab, and here we want to have 3 draws, and here we can also change our hardware. We can also do it later on. We keep now our default, the Movento, and just drag it and drop it in here. And here's also important that you pick the right area. Yeah, you see here the area is the purple colored one. And when you put it in here, it goes over all areas, but we want to here only in the left, only in the left one. And here in the second area, we want to have 1 trim and a double door below. So, and our trim as well as our top drawer should have a height of 150 millimeters. So we type here 150, and here as well, height 150. Over here, we will also add a sink. Yeah, we activate here the drop-down menu for our kitchen stuff, the sink. And then we drag it and drop it here in this area. And it will appear here. And now we are going to the Material tab. Take off the filter and we type in here kitchen. So, and here we have a sink and we just drag it and drop it over here. Okay, now on our next area, we go back to the front tab and here we want to add the dishwasher. Yeah, and what you see here also, we have here the 4 single cabinets. When we add the dishwasher, everything on this cabinet will be disappearing. So we just drag it and drop it here in this area. And we have here a front trim, and you see all the verticals and horizontals. They are disappeared as well as the plinth legs. And yeah, therefore we have place for our dishwasher later on. And last but not least, we want to have here on the right side a door, and it should be a left door. And we just drag it and drop it on here. All right, now we have two options when we want to add here a trim on the right side. Yeah, option number one is we can add it on a cabinet or we can add a front trim. Yeah, and I show you both opportunities. Therefore, we go back to the cabinet tab and we add here on the right the trim. Then it will be appearing here. Yeah, we can also say it should be 50 or 150, but what we need to consider is that this is getting, the area is getting shorter, yeah, because the trim belongs to the cabinet. Yeah, let's say we want to have here a 30 millimeter trim, then we need to change here also the width of the cabinet to 2430, confirming it with enter. Yeah, then you see we have, like before, 4 cabinets with a width of 600. And here we need to also to move the cabinet. Distance left would be then also equals 980 minus 30. Yeah, then we have it here as well. Yeah, so we have here a little gap, but it is okay. If you don't want to have the gap, we can also use the front trim I show you as well. And therefore we delete this. And before I will put it here flush to front. So, and if you want to have work with a front trim, you can also click here on the drop down menu, type in here the width of the front trim, like 40, and you just drag it and drop it over here. On the beginning, the trim goes through the whole area, but when we use now here the left door, and here you see the trim is getting to 440 millimeter. Now when we're measuring it, therefore we keep the control button pressed, and here we see the front trim. And here that is the trim of the cabinet. That has here's 38 millimeter. Okay, but we work now with a cabinet trim. That's why I delete the door again with the trim together, and Here we drag and drop our left door, and then we can also measuring the width of the trim, what we want to have here. Yeah, therefore, just click on here. I need to check something. I double click this part and then it's getting opened. Yeah, here you see also the materials, and close it. And I want to measure this point from this point. Yeah, that is has a width of dx. It's 616, and here we can add like 40 millimeters, so 656. And then we type it in the front tab, 656. That will be our width, and we can click on here and add the trim. And then we click on the drop-down menu for the doors, and we place here the right door. And then we have here the trim. And you see we need to activate here the cover panel as well. All right. Then we are well done with our corner, and we can continue with this cabinet here. That is the cabinet with the front place to, yeah, to our room. And it has like a 19-degree angle to this. And always when we want to twist our cabinet in a 90-degree angle, we use here also the walls. So that means we place it here on a middle wall, yeah, our next cabinet, and it will have here a distance of 3031. So we type in here distance back 3031. Distance bottom and left is 0. The depth is 600. The height will be just 900, and the width is also will be 621. Yeah, I show you later on why 21, because it should be here also. Here the 600 is excluding the fronts, and we want to have it here also because our fronts and our cover panel has a measurement of 621. That's why we have here also the width of it. And then we just drag it and drop it here on the middle wall. Yeah, you see it here. We already placed it, and you see here it's also there. So I think I measured the wrong place. That's why I will change it. It's actually it's 3050. Now I was a bit confused. 3050. Now it's all right. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is, you see here our plinths. We need to have here a plinth on the right side, and therefore we click here on the drop-down menu and go here in the setting menu for our third cabinet, and the height is 18, distance front is 15, and here we want to add the right part of the plinth. Yeah, you see 0 means no. We don't have a one for the left, right, and back, but now we want to add here 1 to the right, and we also need to change here the distance of the right, yeah, because should be 15 minus plus 21, it would be 36. And then we're gonna save it, and then we can check it here. Yeah, that is now on the same level. Yeah, but you see we have here still a gap of 5 millimeters. That's why we need to go in the plinth setting again. So, because here we have distance to back 5, that is a 5 millimeter gap. We type in here number 0, and we have here 0. Yeah. So usually from the front we have here 15, and to the 15 we added here the 21 because our cabinet has a measurement of 621, not 600. Okay, I think that is clear. Then we have set it up like this. And what we want is here on the right side cover panel or a visible side. So, but it need to be careful. That was now here our second cabinet. We need to make sure that our third cabinet is here activated, and then we have here the visible side. Okay, yeah, that looks great. And what you see, the visible side is going through the bottom, and here we want to have overlap to the bottom. We type in minus 80. Here we are. Okay. And you see we are having activated here a cover panel, because therefore we go in the second cabinet and we will extend it to the left. Yeah. We go here in the cover panel and say here overlap to the left. It's 621. So then we are well done. And now we add the 3 drawers, and therefore we go here on the front tab and add here 3 drawers. And you have seen here we changed the top drawer, and we can also work with the relation numbers when we type in here the height 2, then it's related now 1 to 2 to 1. When we type in here on the bottom 1, 3, then it's related 1 to 2 to 3 to each other. And yeah, because here we don't have the connection to this, we keep it like this. Yeah, and we are well done with our left wall. And yeah, you see, we need to change here the materials. Therefore, we go also to the material tabs. We can make it on a beginning or on a end, In this case, we want to here have a white material, 19 millimeter, and we want to change the fronts for all parts and for all cabinets. So now we drag it and drop it on any front, and now all the fronts getting changed. So, and here it doesn't belong to this group because it's a visible site. Here we deactivate the checkbox and we just drag it and drop it over here. All right. And we are going back to the cabinet tab. And you see we have here 3 cabinets. And later on, especially on projects like this, it's good to also write down the name of the cabinets. So that's why we click here on the 3 dot button to open our window for the cabinets. Yeah, here you see also the width, the heights, and the depths of the cabinet, as well as the distances. And we give it now the name, and here we call it, the first one is the corner, middle, wall left. The second one is sink cabinet. And the third one is room drawers, we call. Yeah. And yeah, you see here the height is 900 because the thickness of the cover panel is 40 millimeters. That is fine. Okay, now we can close it and we continue with our next one. And here we will connect it. Yeah, you see also the first 3 cabinets, we placed it on the wall. And now our next cabinet, we will place it here on the cabinet, and therefore we click here also on the drop-down menu, type in here the width. The width should be 1800 millimeters. The height is 9400. The depth is 600. Distance back is 0. And we just drag it and drop it on here. And oh, here it was 10 too much, like you see. Now we click on here and delete 10. It's 940. Now it's all right. So here we just want to have one vertical which is passing through top and bottom, and which is a double one. And here we click in, and the area should be 600. That is all right. We go back to the cabinet and activate here the cover panel. And you see the cover panel, because it has the same material and the same formatting. That's why it's getting connected. Now, when we click on here, yeah, you see also the snap point is activated because we have placed it here on the snap point. Yeah, that's why it's yellow. So it's activated, and that's why when it's snapped and it has the same formatting and the same material, then it's getting connected. Now, when we have here distance left, like just 0.1 millimeter, and we close it, yeah, then you don't see the 0. Millimeter, yeah, but then it's getting disconnected. Yeah, you see it's still snapped, but when we go in here, and we type in number 0, then it will be getting connected again. The distance is changed and it's getting connected. And the cover panel, as well as here the plinth, is also connected. Yeah, you see um, everywhere where we go, when we go with the mouse over a part, the part will have the color pink, and you see it's connected. All right, now we continue with our next one, and that will be the cabinet with the oven. And here we click on the drop-down menu. The width is 600, and the height is here 2200 millimeter. Depth is also 600, and we will snap it also on here. Snap it on here, and the lens is also connected again. And now we can make our division. Here we go to the division tab. We want to have here 2 horizontals. We just drag it and drop it in here. And the bottom area should have the same height as here. Yeah, that is here 782. That's why we click here on the smart click for the bottom area. And we go here on the height and type in 782 and confirming it with enter. And you see here we are on the same level. So before we continue with our oven cabinet, we go here to the front tab and add here 3 drawers. And the first drawer has a height of 150. And here we want to have one left. Door. You see now I am accidentally, you see it here always when it's blinking like this. I accidentally dropped it here on the vertical. That's why it's use the whole area. Yeah, you see here it's like a really big door, and you see also the smart clicks in the middle. That are the smart clicks here for the drawers. You can either go here on undo or click on here and delete the door. Yeah, then you see the drawers are still here. And now I drag it and drop it here on the left wall. Yeah, you see now the handle is here also all right. Yeah, and here when you see blinking the edge, that is because when we click here on the eye and we just activate here the single cabinet, you see here only the edge bending for the front of it. Yeah, you don't see here for this cabinet the cover panel, because the cover panel and also the panel for the trim, it's here on our first cabinet, on the corner cabinet. Now, when we go back to the cabinet and activate here the corner cabinet for middle wall left, you see here the trim panel and the cover panel is getting uh, extended on here. Yeah, so that's why the corner is blinking, because the edge bending is overlapping it to here. Okay, yeah, I will activate now everything, and we continue with our oven cabinet, and yeah, go here to the front, and here on the bottom we want to have a right door. Yeah, you see here also when you go over divider, then it takes a bigger part, the bigger area. When you go here in an area, it's going to be only this area. And sometimes it doesn't get the area, then you go here on a smart click. Yeah, now the area is purple colored, and you can drop it in here. So, okay, yeah, you see that is right. So, and now we go here on a drop-down menu and want to choose the oven, and we drag and drop the oven in the middle area. Ah, yeah, and I forgot to change the height. Yeah, here you can change the height to 600. And now we can go to the Material tab and take off the filter and type in here kitchen. And you see here we have different kitchen stuff available. And when you want to use, you have like this oven, but you can also import the texture of another oven. Yeah, therefore I just click on here, and we go on the three dot button, and the material set is opening. When you click here on the three dot button, the article window is also opening, and here you can choose a texture. And when you go here to kitchen, yeah, that are all JPEG files. And here you can also save JPEG files for other oven. Yeah. So then you can give it a name. Yeah, we can give it also a new name and save this. And then you need also to save the material set. Yeah, and when you have add a new picture, then it will be overtake. So now we drag and drop here the oven over here and deactivate here the checkbox. Then we have it like this. And we go back to the front, and here we want to have uh, Luma Ventus lid. A folding lid is it actually. And yeah, then we are done with this cabinet. And we go here to the cabinet tab, and we give it also the name. We call it oven cabinet, and that is middle wall part. Okay, then we are done here, and we continue with the next one. So I just check something. So the width of it will be 400. So we go here on the cabinet tab, drop down menu, width is 400. The height and the depth is the same. And we will snap it also here. Oh, yeah, the depth is actually 621. And then we drag it and drop it on a snap point here. And it's getting also snapped. So, and here we need to change the offset for the plinth. Yeah, that is here on the same level. And therefore we go here on the drop down menu for the trim. Go here in the setting for the plinth, and we type in here also distance front, like on a room drawer cabinet on the third one is here also 36. Yeah, because we add here to the 15 the 21, we type in 36 and save it, and then it's automatically getting connected. Yeah, and now we go here on the material tab and choose now our material. Yeah, that should be the same like here. When we double click it, we see here also we have the Agar H 3450. We type in here, close it, type in here 3450, and you can do drag and drop it over here. So then a single part is getting changed. Yeah. Please don't use only selected part, because when we make a change afterwards, it won't be changed. Yeah. So on the end of the webinar, or this the second part of the cabinet, I show you only the case when you use this. Yeah. Usually you use it only on the end, and I will show you later on why. So here we don't want to drag it and drop it every time. So we activate here all parts of the group. Yeah, and all parts getting changed here. And go here on the division tab. We want to have here in the middle a horizontal, and then we go on the interior tab, and we want to have here two adjustable shelves and on the bottom as well. So, and the reason why um, this cabinet has a different depth is because it's opened, and we do want to have the edges on the same level as the fronts. So, and we want to now add the same cabinet, the oven cabinet, here again. Therefore, we can also copy this cabinet, and therefore we go back to the cabinet tab, activate here our oven cabinet. It has to be activated, and now we can click here on the snap point, and here we say copy cabinet. Yeah, then our oven cabinet gets copied, and when we want to mirror it, that here our door gets the opposite one. Then we click here on the smart click for the cabinet and we use here mirroring. Okay, then we are done with this as well. And yeah, we continuing with our next one. And next one will be the protection wall. And the protection wall is coming on here. And therefore we use this snap point. Yeah, because here we don't have a snap point. And we go back to the cabinet tab and we say here the width is 2400. The height is 660. And the depth, it doesn't matter. We just type in 350. So then we drag and drop the cabinet over here on the snap point. And you see here, this cabinet is overlapping. And now we click on the eye and just have this cabinet activated. So, and here we want to have a protection wall and we want to have like a flat back with the distance to side is 0. So we don't want to have a plinth and no plinth legs. That's why we deactivate it. And we want to delete here also the right side and the top panel, as well as this bottom panel and here's the left panel. So yeah, we just have this on here and now we can activate the whole cabinet and we click now on here and type in distance left minus 600 and it will be here. And over this cabinet, we want to have the wall mounted cabinets and therefore we click here again or we click in here, that is all right. The height would be 600 millimeter and we drag it and drop it on the smart click on the snap point. So then we have it like this and we deactivate here the plinth legs and the plinth. And yeah, now it's easy. We don't want to have here any trim or plinth. The back is also fine. We go in the division tab. We want to have 3 verticals, which are passing through top and bottom and are not single, they are double. So we activate the parameters and just drag it and drop it in here. Here you see the software. For the software is 1 cabinet, but in reality that are 4 single cabinets. And if you want to have like a shelf in here, we can add an adjustable shelf. And then we go here to the front tab. We can use here a double door and drag it and drop it. And then we can also use a copy paste function. Click here on copy Click here and paste it. Yeah, then we don't need to drag and drop it anytime. And we use here the copy paste function. And then we are done with our wall mounted cabinets as well. And now it's important also to go here in the cabinet tab on the three dot button that we call the cabinet 8 also protection wall. And here wall mounted. So also when you later on want to change some measurements, like you want to have here the wall mounted cabinets 660 height and the protection wall only 600, we can change it here. Yeah, you see now the protection wall has a height of 660 and the wall mounted cabinets have a height of 600. We can change the measurements and the distances here as well. After we close it, it's getting calculated new. Yeah, now the wall mounted cabinets have a height of 660. All right, cool. Then we are done with our L shape so far. Yeah, and next week we continuing to close the U and also build a kitchen island. So see you next week and take care. So bye bye.